What's up, Collective? Welcome to another episode of KLKTV. We're here with Mindy and Josh from Dying Oath. How we doing, guys?
Pretty good, man. Had a margarita before this. So
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. We actually just had a little adventure to Chili's. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Bacon ranch quesadillas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what did y'all get? Y'all all got the quesadillas.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
all three of us did, yeah.
It was a great idea.
Yeah, shit was fire too, man.
Big experience, yeah. So, where y'all actually from?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm from Speedville. She's from Withville. All centered around Southwest Virginia.
Okay.
Basically, we'll go with that.
Was it a long drive down here?
About an hour and a half, something like
goodness.
that. I drive fast, so.
Yeah.
Normally about 2 hours, but you got it about an hour and a half.
It said 1:45. I got here in like 1:30, so it was like, cool.
Solid.
Yeah. Right like that.
It was probably not by traffic.
That
too,
seems
so.
like responsible speeding.
I mean,
Responsible speeding.
yeah, I paid attention.
All right. So.
I went 2 balls to the wall, but you know.
I
We had
stared
to get
at it.
here.
It's not lying. I was like, oh, well, yeah, we're live. That's
Honestly,
fine.
once you cross that 10 over line, that's when I start to get a little anxious.
Yeah, 10 over. That's about the limit.
I hit 8.
Yeah.
8 is my max. I hit
I'm
8
usually at
over
7, so that's okay. Yeah.
I usually cruise control 78.
I always go a little above enough, that I don't look sketchy. That I'm
Just
going
don't
so
hit double
slow.
digits. Just don't hit
Right.
double digits
Yeah,
and
we
you're
don't
safe.
need that.
Don't hit
Yeah.
double digits and you're safe.
So, what have y'all been up to? What have y'all got going on, and what can we expect out of the rest of 2021 or 2020?
Well, we've been fortunate enough to be able to play shows, so we've kind of put writing to the back seat for a little bit because we figure that we'll do that, in the off months when the weather is bad and you can't do anything else. So we've just been playing any show that we can and recording some of the stuff that we already have done so that, when we need that content through the winter, we can just release the songs that we've been working on behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Do we have any releases upcoming? Anything new we can expect to hear from you soon?
We're working on it. We had this
It
next
takes time.
track. Okay, this next track that we're wanting to drop, man. We had it. Okay, we had it sent off to the producer. It was getting mixed.
It was
mastered.
meant to.
Good to go. Yeah, he had actually sent us back the final mix that we had approved on, and we ended up swapping drummers. So
Last minute.
yeah,
Literally
right
before.
3 days before a
it
show
released.
too. We had to play a show at the Pit with a drummer that had only had
3
3
practices.
days to learn the music,
I know the
and he
feeling,
actually
yeah.
pulled it out of his ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did it go?
It
Did it
was-
actually come out all right?
Yeah,
It
dude
was
did
good.
that excellent actually, but it kind of postponed that track because he's a lot more of a technical drummer, man. He's got a lot more, he's got a lot more experience with it, and
This new guy?
yes,
Yeah, we had to evolve basically to
Sometimes it
to
takes
really
that,
be on
yeah.
the same level.
yeah, and hearing what he's got for this song now, I don't think it'll do the song justice if we released it with the old drums on.
It's not even the same song, really.
Yeah,
it's got a
it's
different
okay,
groove
right.
to it.
awesome.
It's
I don't remember who specifically said it, but it's definitely a true statement. They said a band is really only as good as their drummer,
Absolutely.
and
it keeps everything else in line.
it really does.
Structure.
And I mean, like that is where your structure comes from. That's
Yeah.
what kind of ends up separating your songs from everybody else. Like
Oh yeah, like if I mess up at a show, 9 times out of 10, nobody's even going to notice. But if the drummer messes up, man, it's a big deal.
yeah.
That's why I always feel
Everything
so
is
comfortable as
screwed
a
at
bass
that
player. I'm always like, I could sneak that in.
See,
there.
like, that's a big benefit of the collective right now because most people aren't super familiar with a lot of the songs, and a lot of the ones that we play live I haven't released yet. So
Yeah.
like they don't know that this is messed up. But it's messed
That's what we
up.
have.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, that's what we have going for us too.
Yeah.
Basically, we've only been a band for a little over a year, so like
Wow,
there's still
okay.
people that haven't heard any of this stuff except for the 2 that we released.
Yeah.
So if we screw up, I just sing about tacos or something. Nobody notices.
Yeah.
He plays the right band.
Y'all been a band for a year?
Yeah.
I've been guilty of doing that too. Just kind of just rah your way through a couple lines here and there.
Yeah.
And even the 2 that we release, if we mess up somewhere in there, a lot of times, we can pull it out of our ass, and it's still kind of
Root notes.
All that matters. The thing that I've always told any group that I've gotten together with, I've always said, it doesn't matter how bad you mess up, just don't stop.
Yeah, just keep
All
going.
that matters is that you don't stop.
Pretend like you put it there for a
Yeah.
reason. That's what
Absolutely.
I always
Call it jazz improvisation.
Right.
Yeah.
Just chug some open notes until everybody figures out where the hell they're at. And just keep going.
When in doubt, root it out.
As long as it's in time. Yeah, exactly.
I actually have a 911 plan in case, like, if I screw up or say I trip over something or whatever. I've got plan Bs. So I can be like, I know how to
Just gotta
make
figure it
this
out.
work
Yeah.
so that I don't look like an idiot.
You got the escape
Can
plan.
roll
Yep.
off the stage like, yeah.
Tuck and roll, Grandma. Yeah.
Tuck and roll. Absolutely.
So y'all actually just got me kind of curious. So you said you've been a band for a year. So I mean, honestly, I was going on your Facebook page earlier. I was like, y'all have done a lot in a year. I mean, y'all are what, over 9,000 followers on Facebook?
Listen,
I mean,
it's been
that's kind of big.
What?
Yeah,
overwhelming.
I didn't
saw that.
realize it
It's-
was 9,000.
It has been,
Yeah.
honest to God,
That's
we,
insane.
the first content that we released was just some stuff that we recorded in this old trailer that we practiced in. We didn't think that anybody was going to really listen to it. We just, we did the best we could with what we had at the time. We're like, we'll just throw it out there and see what happens. And we got basically a message saying, you guys should come play a show. We're like, well, we're not really ready, but you know what? It's just a hometown show, so we're just going to, let's just do it. So we played that first show, and word of mouth spread to, larger areas, which people started wanting to book more shows, and the more it went on, it was like, it just grew into this crazy monster that we didn't really know how to react to any of it when they liked it. We were just like, well, this is awesome, so we'll keep doing it, because, we didn't have a plan. It was just, we got thrown into it, and we're just riding the waves, man.
Like, legitimately watching, seeing you guys' social media and, the Diagoth family, the group thing that you have going on, what really gets me is not the number of followers as much as you guys have such a high interaction rate. Like, all of your fans are always there. All of your fans are always buying up all of your stuff. They're always on top of it.
I think it really,
their support is just awesome, man.
Yeah.
You guys have a hell of a fan base.
it really goes back into what you put into it, though. Like, the amount of time and work we put into trying to answer every message, every phone call, every post that we're tagged in, just reaching out to people that we feel really enjoy what we do. And it grows and it grows, and they really do become a family when, it's unbelievable. Like, there's really no words to describe it, because we do what we do, and people just happen to like it. So...
And people don't understand that even that aspect of it is really exhausting and is a lot of work
It is.
to
It's
actually
more work than playing
to
shows.
really keep up with all of these people. It's one thing you think about, you have say 10, 20 friends that are kind of in and out of your inbox and commenting on your stuff all the time, and then you just take that to hundreds of people who you've never even met that you're constantly having to engage in
hard,
and
man.
yeah, I
And
mean, it's awesome.
It is.
It's
We've
killer.
been very blessed, though, and we know that, and that's what we let them know. Like, we probably would not be doing any of this whatsoever if people weren't like, hey, we like this, just keep doing it, and we just
There's
did
no
it
way.
for them.
Word of mouth is everything, man.
We wouldn't be here
Word of mouth is everything.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially in this day of age. I mean, online marketing
That's all we
is
have.
everything. So who's the big leader on that? Sitting with him?
Well, we all try to split up everything.
Yeah.
We've got Endicott, who generally does the Instagram, and Josh has been doing our Twitter and a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like our website and our production, pretty much everything that I don't do. And then I do all of the social media work as far as the group and the Facebook page and reaching out to people and getting interviews and whatnot like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we just work together and try to make a
Little exposure here
well-oiled
and there,
machine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Being able to distribute responsibility is kind of a big deal.
It makes it
important.
easier.
It makes life a lot easier, and I mean, sometimes it's a matter of who has what skill set or who is able to actually do this or that sometimes. So
Who's good at what,
Yeah.
Using
Some
everybody's
people-
individual skills. I mean,
Some people just
absolutely.
can't make a damn, Facebook post to save their life.
yeah,
just don't
I'm
understand it,
okay
yeah.
with having somebody in my band that is on the media aspect completely useless,
Yeah.
but puts on a phenomenal live show every single time we're there.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Everybody's got a spot, man. As long as
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
brings something to the table, that's
I agree
Yeah,
with
that's what
that.
it's about.
It helps keep people from getting burned out, Because I mean, if you're doing it all by yourself, yourself. You know, if you're like the one person in the band that does all the promo, you know, writes all the music, something like that. I mean, you get burnt out really quick. So just having people to delegate the tasks to, man. You know,
and we do help each other and switch off sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes people will contact me. I don't even answer them back. I just send a message to Josh. And I'm like, I can't deal with this today. Will you please? And he'll take care of it. And then sometimes there's days that he's like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
That's been really cool, yeah, because that's like, I've been doing exactly that with the collective. I've kind of done everything because I started it with the ground up. It formed out of what was initially just a solo project under my Killjoy moniker.
Yeah.
And just as my vision expanded, you know, it just needed more.
Yeah.
Right.
And
process.
now we're almost a year into it, and I'm just now finally getting to a point where I can delegate responsibilities thanks to this wonderful man for coming on board.
Yeah.
And so he helps me out a lot, and the guys are finally, because initially it did feel more like a solo project being projected as a band, but I'm trying to show them that this is them. These characters within this band are about them. This is about wanting people to have these different personalities to attach to. It's not about me. It's about everybody having their own thing. It's about them being able to take these monikers and move those anywhere else in the industry that they decide to.
Exactly.
So they're finally coming around and getting involved. So you know, it's making my life a little bit easier, and we're all gaining from it. So it's great.
Man. It's a lot of strain, you know, having to hold all of that responsibility, you know, on your social life and everything, you know, relationships. Because it takes a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize just how much work it actually takes to just to build a following, you know, just to keep people interested, you know, just to keep the hype alive and everything. It takes tremendous work.
The band is my wife and my girlfriend's my mistress. You know, so, I mean, it's, it really is like that. Like, this is all of our blood, sweat, and tears. I know that it's cliche.
Sorry, Jennifer,
but
not that goes.
it's cliche, but, you know, it's the truth.
I mean, it is, and it kind of has to be for it to really be successful. And for the record, those friend invites to that page, that invite friends button, that's our best friend. Use that.
Mindy, I'm going to actually ask you something just because I'm always curious when it comes to vocalists. How long have you actually been a vocalist for?
I started out singing when I was a small kid in church, actually, and then
Another church kid. That's two in a row now.
Okay, well, I mean, it's the truth, but then I moved into vocal training, and I wanted to be an opera singer, believe it or not. So when I was in middle school, I spent pretty much every waking moment after school going to voice lessons and learning to sing in Italian. And
Italian.
Yeah, and then I really didn't. I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me, you know what I mean? Like, I loved doing music, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do.
Didn't feel the soul,
And I got into punk music, and I decided when I was 14 I was going to go out and buy a bass guitar, and I was a bassist for like 9 years in a punk band.
Nice.
So I did that for a while, and then I got into rock. After my band split up, like, I just kind of sat around the house and sulked for a little bit. I got a phone call, and they're like, there's this rock band that's looking for a vocalist of some sort, I don't know what. And I showed up, and it actually ended up being a heavy band, and I was like, okay, this is right up my alley. I really enjoy this. Like, this is more me. And they wanted to cover some song that had screams in it, and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, no clue. I've never even tried it a day in my life. And they're like, here, take this really hard metal song and learn this.
Do you remember what song was that?
It was Bodies by Drowning Pool, actually.
Oh, yeah. To
and
actually
I was like,
scream that is not it.
That was my first song ever. And it sounded terrible. I annoyed myself, even. I was like, I'm going to get kicked out of the band because I can't do this.
Nice
you know?
and shrieky, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to ask.
It was
Did you have to train your vocals into doing it? Okay.
Well, actually, what I did is I talked to every vocalist that I could find that did the type of music that I was going for and asked techniques and what they were doing for warm-ups and stuff like that. And then I started watching YouTube videos and then paying for classes online for vocalists to teach me these things. And then I just picked it up eventually, but it was never just, you can do this.
You're a whole lot smarter than I am. So I had initially started out like just kind of, it was singing corn type stuff, and and I kind of half did the Slipknot thing, and there was one day I was sitting upstairs and I always wanted to scream, but I never like had the guts to like be that loud, like to push like that.
Yeah.
And there was one day I was like just pacing upstairs, and it was "Inhale" by Stone Sour, and it was that bridge part of that, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it, and I did it, and it actually was. I was like, oh, I can do this, like, all right, and yeah, and then here I am, like 15 years later, and I messed up my voice a week ago, so like, I just kind of went with it and did what felt mostly okay. There were plenty of times, especially in the beginning, where I'm like, you know, it's like almost strep throat for the next hour. But
you're constantly learning though, because even though I've been doing this for like 20 years, like you meet other people that make you want to be better. And then in a sense, like I'm always learning, because like for 20 years I was like, okay, this is how I did things, and then I met this guy and he's like, that's not all you got. And I'm like, I have more experience than you. Like, what?
That's a producer's mindset right there.
He's like,
that's a big one.
So I went home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to show him. And honestly, that End of Days, like, is one of those things, like, one of those songs that is going to portray that. Whenever that comes out, like, check that out, because that's the progression of me shedding my skin, so to speak.
There's genuine anger in there.
Evolving.
Spoiler alert, right?
As Josh said earlier, evolving into Bulbasaur.
That's why we wanted to put out every single, though, because every single on this compilation is going to tell a different story, and it's a different level of us evolving, because where we started out is nowhere near where we are in a year's time. And I'm sure the next album is going to be the same thing. So each one told a story, and we couldn't pick, like, okay, well, we've got to put this song and this song on just this and release the whole thing, and then not get the entire story behind the album. So we're just going to release them all, man.
Hell yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So, Josh, to keep you from being so quiet over there. You good? No. Just curious, as a lead guitarist, I mean, I know there's a certain amount of pressure because everybody wants to see the cool shit. Everybody wants to see that getting into it and everything like that. Yeah. What is your process, and kind of how'd you discover the guitar?
Yeah, I was like 15 years old, and a buddy of mine, he picked up a guitar, like a little Squire Strat or whatever, and was jamming Blink-182 songs. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. So I had to have a guitar too, so I got one for Christmas. It was like a Gibson, or not a Gibson, Epiphone. Yeah, the Epiphone Les Paul special. It was like $150. You get the guitar, the amp, the whole nine.
Yeah, it comes in the big old triangle box. Yeah,
exactly. So I was sitting, and just played Louie Louie with the little video that came with that. And I was like, man, screw this. And I was in keyboarding class in high school, and I used to, when the teacher wasn't looking, I would download these tabs for different songs I would listen to at the time, and I would sneak my my little flash drive home and pop it in my computer and just jam out.
Nice.
And I started learning see Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark, man. That was one of my big starters, dude. I love that song. Love that song. And of course moved to the Trooper, and then started discovering other things. And around that time is when started getting into like Korn, Disturbed,
New Metal for Life.
Yeah, Linkin Park.
All day.
I mean, all of that good stuff, man. I just fell in love with the melodies and some of that, and some of the harmonies between the guitars, and I really started trying to pick into that more. And then I had this breakthrough, man. A friend of mine brought over this. It was a DVD disc. It was the Roadrunner United sessions.
Oh yes, I know exactly.
Dude, yeah, that thing changed my life, man. Whenever I first heard, I didn't know who the band was. I didn't know who Trivium was at all. But
you knew you liked it.
Yeah, I knew I liked it. I was asking my friends. I was like, "Who is that? Who's the band at the beginning of this DVD when the house was blowing down? And all this stuff. Because it had that really cool intro, and it had their song playing, and I had to go dive deep and just find everything I could by them. Even the song that Matt Heafy did on it, was really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I dug up Trivium and started learning some stuff off of Ascendancy. Got into All That Remains. Let's see, Kill Switch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine. started getting into more like As I Lay Dying type stuff, and really it's just evolved
Because
from
that
there,
doesn't
man.
show in our music
Damn,
at all.
man.
Man, once you get dude, all right, I learned this one the hard way too, because when I started doing guitar, I also ended up, it was like Disturbed, Bullet for My Valentine, stuff like that, and
classics for a
you
time,
can't
man.
get away from the 5, 7, 8.
You really
Yeah.
can't.
You just can't, man. That da 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 everywhere. You can't not. You just can't not.
It's true.
No matter how hard you try, you will always go back. Always. But no, that was actually really cool that you mentioned that Iron Maiden was one of the first things, because whenever you were noodling and doing that riff earlier, that was what it reminded me of, was like an Iron Maiden type riff.
Oh yeah,
so
you can hear the influence.
it
there,
definitely
man.
comes through, man. Yeah, that's all. That's really cool. On that note, guys, you can check that out on this little jam track we collaborated on. This is a new little segment we're trying to add in here. So, obviously, we're here with the vocalist and lead guitar player. So, we over here at the Collective wrote a little bit of a drum track and some rhythm stuff, sent it over. And they did their damn thing on it. So we're going to give you guys a second to check that out. Here we go, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Just get out of my way, breaking down the walls, and I'm fucking here to stay. And now there's nowhere to run, going straight for the heart. Where I know that there's a price to pay. Some make you free. Well, the generation lucky
God, that was fucking it right there. That was good,
Sorry.
dude. I really love that.
Fantastic.
Y'all did really good. That turned out great, though.
Dude, I'm super stoked on it. After they sent me the parts back the next morning on the way to work, I literally, it's like 45 seconds, but I had it on repeat, dude, the whole time. I just like smiled and just played.
Yeah.
Play.
That's kind of how we were when we finished our parts. We were like,
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
it was fun, man. My
We had
lady's
no
so
idea.
tired of hearing it. Oh man, she is. She's like, Josh, one more time, and I swear to God.
I'm gonna do it. So we always like to, here at KLKTV, we always like to kind of do a little fun questions, here at the end, just to kind of lighten it up a little bit.
I've been
So
ready for
I
this.
want to know, what is everybody's spirit animal, and why?
I swear to God, we can't all three say raccoons.
How about you all three?
I don't think we all three were planned on it.
No, okay, so that's probably yours. You
I'm
go first.
Totally safe here,
I'm a
dude.
trash rat.
Dude, you're always ready with those answers. I swear, every time I ask you, you are ready.
This awful. Yeah, no, mine's definitely, I gotta go with raccoon, man. I'm a trash rat. I like all the shit that people like to throw away.
Shiny.
Aladdin watching trash rat.
Aladdin and trash rat. There's a trend here.
Mindy, what about you?
My spirit animal? Missy Elliott, probably. I feel like
Shit,
that's my...
that's way better.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about the realm of not to call it
Right,
an
like,
animal.
Yeah,
we didn't
no.
set a standard.
Yeah, there was
so,
no,
like,
there was
Dude,
no limitations.
outside the box. She's an animal, let me tell you. Like,
Dude,
she's my
she
spirit
is.
animal.
Cannot
Like,
argue.
she's badass. She's funny. She's like the coolest, nicest person in the world. So like, yeah, I want to be that. That's my spirit
All
animal.
right, I support it. I like that.
Shit, I don't know.
All right, Josh.
I didn't have much time to think about. How about I guess
You're the last
maybe like a
one.
magpie, man, because I like to collect shiny shit.
Yeah.
You look at my guitar collection, man. You're like,
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a shiny guy. I see it. So we got the white. All right. So what are the other ones?
Oh my God, you're gonna get me started here. Okay, how much time you got?
Oh, I got all the time.
Schecter Hellraiser. I got an 8-string. The Schecter Hellraiser. Shit, I can't remember what sub brand it's called, but it's killer freaking guitar. 7-string. It's a ESP LTD MH1007. I got an ESP.
Dude, those
H2.
MH1000s are always awesome. Dude.
I love it. That's the one
I've
I
never
wanted
played
to
a
bring.
7-string one, but I played a couple other ones. And
Yeah.
always
That's the one I wanted to bring, but I didn't want to have to tune it down because it's got the Floyd on it, and
Yeah.
the track was a little bit different tuning, so I didn't want to have to do all that. I got a Schecter Hellraiser, just 6-string. It's the Hellraiser Extreme.
The red one.
It's almost like a Fireburst almost.
Yeah.
I don't know really how to explain it. It's got a maple neck on it. Killer freaking guitar, man. I ended up customizing it a little bit.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're talking about the it's like a kind of a little bit darker sunburst and the maple neck with the black like gothic cross type.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's got all those. I customize a little bit too, man, because I whenever I jam, I kind of jam like open-handed. So that top button, like that top knob up there, always got in my friggin' way. So it's rewired with a different set of EMG pickups. Actually got the Zach Wild set in it. Nice. And it's rewired. That button's removed, which everybody comments like, hey, dude, you lost the button on your guitar. It's like, no, dude, the knob's gone, okay? It's rewired that way. And that way it's just got one volume and one tone.
Dude, that's the way I always prefer it, man. That top knob is almost always, especially on, like, I notice on a lot of ESPs and Ibanez's, it does kind of, I tend to, my pinky likes to knock that around a little bit, so. Yeah,
well, I mean, my other one's kind of like that too, that Schecter Hellraiser Hybrid, the H-string. It's such a nice guitar there, man, I can't justify, popping the knob off of it. I ended up swapping the pickups out, because everything I have has EMGs, Yeah. If you play metal, everybody uses friggin' EMGs.
Dude, alright, like, EMG catches a bad name, and, like, I can understand that from 10 years ago, but the technology's evolved, man, and honestly, like, whenever I show some of the people recordings and solo stuff that I've done with the EMGs, they're like, there's no way that's an EMG. Like, there's no way that's an active pickup, and I'm like,
coming from people who's probably never used active pickups.
Yeah, I mean, there's just the purists who think that, you can only get one sound out of one type of thing, and it just doesn't work that way. It's all in how you break it down, man.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I ended up swapping those out because, like I said, everything I have has EMGs in it, so I swapped those out for Seymour Duncan Black Winters.
Black Winters.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that
sounds metal.
Isn't that no, that's the Sentient and Nazgul that are.
I actually put those in a ESP M2.
Nice.
Yes, those sound fantastic. I think too. They're so meaty. They have such a.
We got into nerd talk now. We go on all day.
Yeah, better chill the gear talk. Man. We'll be here all friggin' night. But anyways, that's a few of them.
Absolutely. Hang on, give me the color list because we talked about nice and shiny. So
most of them are either black or have like the see-through gray with
that's not very shiny.
They're
like
super
the flame, flame maple, something like that. I really dig that.
He just keeps the gloss on.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He keeps that gloss looking nice.
I keep them shiny, man. They're killer guitars.
All right, last but not least. So, what's everybody's Monopoly piece? Because just so you know, we're playing Monopoly.
I will never play another game of Monopoly in my life. You lose friends that way.
Check the next episode. It's all going to be us playing Monopoly and killing each other.
Do you like I do? Who's playing Monopoly? Dibs on the race car, man.
That's usually me.
Is it?
I'm usually the car.
Right,
we're the same person, though. You guys are going to see. We're like the same person in two different bodies. Like, we share a brain. So it's,
so
I'm not surprised.
Why race car? What is it about the race car?
Did I tell you about driving over here?
You did.
I feel like it makes
answer this question.
All right. Fast. I don't know.
It's inspiring.
All right,
I feel like it's going places. It's better than a damn boot.
I feel like it's going places. I like that.
Hey,
that's
perfect. That's perfect.
That is beautiful and poetic right there. I just like the top hat, just because.
Mr. Sports Coat over here.
Classy,
top hat would probably be my second.
Dude, it is amazing. Okay, he mentioned the sports coat. Okay, so
if you don't know him, he dresses pretty sharp usually regularly.
Here's the deal though. I literally wear exactly what I'm wearing right now. The only difference is this $5 Goodwill blazer that I throw on top.
Yep.
And for some reason, if I go out with that $5 blazer on, everybody acts like I'm in a 3-piece suit. Like I'm just like, what are you all dressed up for?
I wear shirts and ties all the time.
Same.
Because,
I mean,
I'm not even going anywhere.
It feels good. It makes you feel better
walking
about
into
yourself.
the gas station, you have that nice just feel about you. Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
Well, you get that kind of Boondock Saints like big dick energy going on, man.
Yes, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Perfect way to explain it.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, guys, this has been yet another episode of KLKTV. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Kollektive.
Welcome to the Kollektive. Welcome to the Kollektive.